We've got a couple weather stories to talk about over the next several days. The first one being the lake effect snow potential that we will have for tomorrow and tonight associated with the backside of that system that just went through, as well as the potential for thunderstorms on Thursday. Some of the storms might look to be on the stronger side, but right now overall severe potential is low. In this video, we're going to break down both of these upcoming weather events in a little bit more detail. Hello everybody, 9:09 a.m. on March 9th. Welcome to another update from Great Lakes Weather. Hopefully everybody is doing well today. This footage is from that EF1 tornado, or the damage associated with it, up in Marshall. We did a little bit of a survey up there last weekend, and you can see there's a little bit of damage to some of the buildings out associated in the path of this storm. But as you go out into the woods, you can really start to see a bit more extensive tree damage as a result of this. You can also see the direction of the trees is changing as along the path there, definitely looking like tornado damage, and an EF1 tornado has been confirmed by the National Weather Service associated with that up in Marshall. Now, will Thursday's event bring tornadoes? I highly doubt it. Looking like the severe weather potential is low for that event, but some models are hinting at that potential at this current moment. So we are going to take a look at that with the current models. And again, keep in mind that we're not going to be forecasting the potential for severe weather, but the models are hinting at the potential for some severe weather. So that's what we are looking at with this upcoming overview. So let's get right to it. First of all, right, we're starting with the GFS model. The latest run as of this morning, I believe. Yep, that is. So we're starting Saturday, 7 a.m. Just around 2 hours ago. Progressing it forward, you can see nothing's really happening. You can see that there is a trough starting to dip into the Great Lakes region at this point. It is going to bring some cooler temperatures, and it's going to bring some wind as well. Going to have some wind chills. Sunday is going to feel a lot colder than it has in the past couple of weeks, because we've had a lot warmer weather up to this point, but high temperatures tomorrow are only going to be in the upper 30s. But you go forward, you can see that that trough dips into the Great Lakes region, and you see lake effect snow beginning to develop across portions of Lake Michigan, even portions of Lake Huron and Lake Erie. So those places will likely see snow associated with that trough as it moves through. And then we see a warming trend come back, and then we see a ridge start to build into the Great Lakes region once again. And then as we go forward into Thursday, you start to see this low start to develop out towards the plains. This is what we're watching for the potential for some thunderstorms on Thursday, with some of those storms possibly being strong. Models are still heavily variable on this setup. Some models are not even putting out potential for severe weather. The Euro is hinting at a little bit of potential for maybe some damaging wind gusts. So again, that's just a model output. It's not a forecast. Just keep that in mind. But the low pressure system that is bringing that is likely going to be coming Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening. So let's focus on particularly the lake effect snow event that is going to be coming later on tonight. So as we go forward, you can see that low pressure system is beginning to move out of the area. On the back side of it, though, you have those northwesterly winds that are going to be bringing that much cooler air over the warmer waters of the lake, because the lake is much warmer than usual given the fact that we've also had warmer temperatures up to this point. But you can see that lake effect snow begins to develop. Upper Peninsula getting it in on it as well, but you can see that the pockets of heavier snow seem to focus themselves over portions of Lake Michigan. Again, you have a lot of lake water that's going to kind of be influencing that with those northwesterly winds going through. So there will be some heavy pockets of snow in here. Definitely some reductions in visibility associated with this, but do I think accumulations will be significant? I do not expect that to be the case. If you get a sounding out ahead of one of these pockets of snow, you do have that lake effect snow setup showing on your SKU-T chart, but as you go out over towards the lake as well, you could see that there is a little bit of instability out there associated with this. You got some 3 capes, some surface level instability. You have instability values around 70, a surface base cape. You also have a little bit of it in the mixed layer also. Again, it's not really the best setup for lake effect snow, but you do have lapse rates that will be steep enough to favor a little bit of lake effect snow development. So I think accumulations will be pretty low from this, but there is going to be some snow accumulation and some snow pretty much widespread across Michigan and portions of Indiana. But the accumulating portion, I think, will focus across portions of southwestern Michigan and northwestern Michigan. I don't think there's going to be any amounts exceeding 4 inches in most places. So that's kind of what we're watching out for this particular setup. Let's go to a winter weather chart for some snow accumulations and see what we can get there. As we go forward towards the end of this event, you can see it's total snow accumulations. Again, heavier accumulations are focused farther north. Places in northern Michigan could see closer to 6 inches of snow. Again, if we do a compare model, though, you'll see a bit of a difference in some of the models here. So let's compare the models on the HRRR here. So you can see the GFS, again, also still showing that setup for 6 inches of snow forming across portions of northwest Michigan. So again, the focus of the heaviest accumulations is going to be across northwestern Michigan right here. Will it stick to the ground? I think there will be some snow sticking to the ground. I mean, the surface temperatures farther south are going to be much warmer given the fact that the temperatures farther south have been much warmer. But you do see that snow accumulation definitely focusing itself across northwest Michigan. HRRR is the one that's putting out that very narrow band of accumulation across portions of southwest Michigan, as well with the potential for just a setup for maybe a light band of that to continue overnight tonight. So I really don't think the accumulation is going to be significant down here. You do have snow potential also across portions of northeastern Ohio. Could see some higher accumulations of up to 6 or 7 inches up there. But again, not a significant amount of accumulation here, but enough to just be like, yeah, this could cause a few slight travel hazards come Sunday. Not going to be too much, though. So again, associated with this low pressure system as well, we're going to start to see an increase in winds that will drive our wind chills down also. So you can see by the time we get to Saturday night into Sunday, the winds really take off across the lake and then also over Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio as well. You see wind gusts getting up to 35 to 40 miles an hour. So definitely going to be some strong winds associated with this. If you go to the, there is no wind chill graphic for this new model that just came out in Pivotal Weather, but you can see the temperatures as we get into that cooler air. Temperatures are going to drop into roughly the 20s in some spots, and then also getting down to the 30s. I could see some wind chills getting down into the upper teens, low 20s, especially in this area, and then closer to the single digits as you get up into places where temperatures drop all the way down into the teens across northern Michigan. So again, it is going to be windy that day. You see this really nice batch of warm air making its way into the Great Lakes region come later on this week, though. This is going to warm our temperatures into the 60s by the time we get into probably Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So it's going to be some nicer weather coming along. Let's talk Thursday real quick. The Euro's kind of putting out a decent setup for some thunderstorms as we get into Thursday. So let's take a look at that real quick. You see this initial band, and then here's the low pressure system making its way through. Oh, I think I went a little too far. One thing we're watching out for here is the potential for a cold front to make its way through, and you can kind of see there will be some thunderstorms out ahead of this around 1 p.m. Thursday. Keep in mind also tomorrow the time springs forward, which again, that's my favorite time of the year, where the time springs forward, because again, you have more daylight in the afternoon, which is always a nice thing. But we're watching out for the potential for some thunderstorms that could make their way in Thursday into Friday. So again, the cloud bases are looking relatively low. Again, you have kind of the setup here looks kind of rough according to the Euro at this point, but if you go a little bit forward, you can see that there's a few thunderstorms that appear to develop out ahead of this as we get into 4 p.m. Thursday across eastern Michigan. And then there's your marginal severe sounding. You got Cape values around 700. You do have good low level and upper level support here. You do have storm relative felicity around 115 to 230. Temperatures getting close to 70 across portions of northern Ohio and southeastern Michigan. So this is something I'm watching out for Thursday. See what the models do with it. Again, does look to be a low end setup at this current moment, but just bears watching that there could be some thunderstorms coming through on Thursday. And then also as we get into the 7 p.m. time frame on Friday, it does tend to show again more potential for some elevated storms, probably along that warmer boundary of air that's going to be making its way through. So that's just something that we're watching out for at this current moment. Again, too soon to tell what's going to occur with this. As you go farther in, let's freeze frame it real quick on 1 p.m. You can see that there's going to be a little bit of support with this setup. So if we go to the mixed layer Cape values, you see that there is some instability in the atmosphere. Photographs are not extremely supportive of a, I guess, a rotating storm with this, but again, there is that support there with the instability. Wind shear is going to be out there. Wind shears could possibly be out to 50 knots associated with the current model output. We'll have to see how it plans out a little bit later, but there is looking to be some synoptic support for this setup as we look at the early stages of the Euro model run. And then there's been a couple models that have agreed with this setup. Icon has been one of them I've kind of been watching. So it's just something to keep in mind. Not all models are in agreement on this, but it's still not easily predictable. We'll have to wait until we get close to the event to actually see what comes down. So that's pretty much it for the next couple of days, so that's something we're watching out for. I am seeing a cooling trend as we get into the end of March, so that's something we're watching out for as well. Make sure to subscribe and stay updated. We'll continue to provide updates as needed, and we'll see if this event on Thursday comes about to be anything. I'm probably not going to be chasing any snow come tonight and tomorrow. Not really going to be too much of an active event, but Thursday is just the day I'm watching out for in particular. So thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you all later.